my passionate and loyal Scorpio friend. Hello and welcome. My name is Mina, and I'm here to offer you a 3-card reading exploring the themes of you, your path, and your potential. I invite you to consider what the reading reveals about possible challenges, opportunities, and personal growth for the week ahead. Take a deep breath, rest your mind, and let's see what the cards have to share with you today. Scorpio, you may find yourself sitting with a quiet tension this week, a sense that something long familiar is starting to feel just a little too small. It's not always loud, this feeling. It's more like the hush that settles after a celebration, when laughter lingers in the corners but a new hush asks you to listen. There's a pull between the known and the unknown, a longing for relief from intensity, and yet a deep suspicion that ease might only last so long. You might sense it in the way you greet your mornings, half relieved, half restless, or in the way your mind wanders just before sleep, chasing what's next without leaving the comfort of what is. There is appreciation for what's been built, but also a subtle ache to stretch beyond it. This week you are both grateful and unsettled, holding the sweetness of belonging in one hand and a flicker of unease in the other. If you feel like you're standing at the edge of your own celebration, wondering if it's time to move on, you're not alone in that sensation. The 4 of Wands shimmers through your week as a gentle echo of joy, stability, and recognition. It's as if you're standing in a space you've worked hard to create, a room you've decorated with your own rituals, a life you've shaped with sweat and hope. There's a warmth in knowing you've made it to a milestone, a gathering place where parts of you come together and are seen. But even within that comfort, there's a trembling underneath. Sometimes, when you finally reach the place you've been striving for, you realize you're not quite as content as you'd imagined. The 4 of Wands isn't just the celebration, it's the stillness that follows when the guests have gone and you're left with your thoughts. It's the small voice that asks, now what? You may notice yourself seeking out moments of connection or nostalgia, reaching for people or memories that reaffirm your sense of belonging. There's a sweetness to it, but also a fragility. It's tempting to hold on tightly to what's familiar, to linger in the glow of what you know. Yet beneath the surface something wants to move. Perhaps you feel a tension between enjoying the stability you've earned and the urge to press forward, to ask uncomfortable questions, or to admit that this piece, while lovely, is not the full story. Your inner state is both celebratory and restless, a paradox Scorpios know well. The urge to deepen, to transform, is never far from the surface, even when life is good. If you notice yourself feeling unexpectedly irritable or wistful amidst your own comfort, trust that this is just the natural rhythm of your spirit, not a flaw to be fixed. This feeling is not a threat, it's a subtle invitation. And from this place of inner contradiction, contentment laced with curiosity, the next part of the week begins to unfold. The comfort you've cultivated is real, but it cannot contain all of you. The restlessness that flickers in the quiet moments starts to build, sending out small ripples that set events in motion. It's not always dramatic, but the shift is undeniable. The longing for more becomes a quiet pressure, nudging you from within. The path ahead doesn't just appear, it is called forth by your willingness to listen to what is stirring beneath the surface. What you are feeling now becomes the fuel for what happens next. As the days progress, the energy of the Knight of Swords comes alive around you. Suddenly, the week does not want to wait. There is a surge of momentum, an insistence to move, to act, to cut through the haze of comfort with sharp clarity. The pace quickens, not always in the world outside, but within your own mind and heart. Thoughts race, questions demand answers. You may notice a new intensity to your conversations, or a sudden urge to challenge what once seemed settled. The air is charged with purpose, and pressures mount as you try to reconcile your need for both safety and progress. This is not an easy or gentle momentum. The Knight of Swords brings friction, the kind that pushes you to make decisions, to articulate truths you've been holding back. There may be moments this week where you feel pulled in multiple directions, or where your desire to push forward brushes up against the boundaries set by others or by your own traditions. It's tempting to rush to let impatience rule your actions. Yet this friction is not random. It arises precisely because you are ready for movement, even if you feel unprepared. The pressures you encounter, whether they come from deadlines, disagreements, or your own relentless mind, are responding to the deep restlessness that's been quietly building. You may find yourself wanting to speak more directly, to cut through veils, to pursue clarity even if it disrupts the calm. Yet, the rush of energy can sometimes blur your vision. There's a risk of acting too quickly, of letting urgency become recklessness. The week may bring flashes of insight, but also moments where things move too fast for comfort. The friction you feel is a sign that something within you refuses to settle for the known, no matter how sweet. The familiar can only stretch so far before it asks to be renewed. In this way, the events and pressures of your week aren't obstacles, they are mirrors for your own evolving hunger for truth and change. But what comes next, Scorpio, depends entirely on how you meet this momentum. The Knight of Swords doesn't guarantee transformation, it simply brings the opportunity, wrapped in urgency and challenge. If you ride the current too recklessly, it can scatter your energy. If you resist it entirely, it can turn inward, building frustration. The potential here is not in the speed, but in the awareness you bring to the movement itself. Growth this week is not a certainty. It is an invitation, one that only you can accept moment by moment as you choose how to respond to what's pressing and what's possible. The Ten of Swords enters as the quiet shadow at the end of this arc, not with finality but with the possibility of release. This card does not promise a dramatic ending, nor does it threaten ruin. Instead, it marks the point where something, perhaps an old story, a familiar way of thinking, or a pattern of self-protection, has run its course. The invitation here is to notice what no longer serves, to allow a gentle surrender rather than a forced conclusion. Growth for you this week is about accepting that some things are truly done. The ache you feel is not just loss, it is spaciousness, the clearing that comes after a long-held tension finally lets go. In this space, you may find both relief and vulnerability. The freedom to move forward is born not from pushing harder, but from releasing what is already over. The Ten of Swords asks nothing more than honesty, a willingness to see what cannot be revived and to let the old fall away with grace. This is not an ending to fear, but a moment to honor your own resilience. Growth is not about what you conquer, but what you allow yourself to leave behind. Your potential this week is measured by your capacity to make peace with what cannot return and to open yourself, softly, bravely, to what emerges in the quiet after the storm. These three energies weave together into a single living tapestry. The Four of Wands reminds you of the sweetness and strength of what you've built, the moments of joy and connection that have shaped your journey. The Knight of Swords brings the restless momentum, the need to speak, to act, to challenge what's grown too small for you. The Ten of Swords offers the quiet, necessary release, the gentle ending that makes space for something new. Together, they map a week where celebration and tension are not opposites but partners. You are not betraying your joy by yearning for more. You are not impatient simply because you want to grow. As you move through these days, you may find that what once felt like a contradiction is actually a cycle. The building, the questioning, the letting go. In the end, you are left with what is real, what is yours, and what is ready to begin again. There is reassurance in this rhythm. You are not lost, Scorpio, you are simply in motion even when you pause. The peace you seek is found not in holding on, but in allowing yourself to change. Actionable insights for Scorpio this week. Let yourself notice where comfort feels bittersweet today. Try expressing a thought that has quietly weighed on you. Rest in the relief that comes after naming what's over. Spoken word affirmations to repeat aloud for a more positive mindset. I am allowed to outgrow what once felt right. I hear the truth in my own voice. Each ending leaves space for new beginnings. I trust the strength I find in letting go. I am at ease with what I choose to release. And now, dear friend, I thank you for giving me your time. I truly hope I have given you something helpful in return. Goodbye and good luck until next time.